Last year, we lost a true leader and one of the greatest elected officials to serve the state of Maryland. R. Clayton Mitchell Jr., former delegate and Speaker of the House of Delegates. Clay was a dear friend, colleague, and exemplary public servant. After much deliberation, I decided the best way to honor Clay Mitchell's legacy was to create an award in his name. A distinguished public servant was chosen from each jurisdiction that exemplifies the true spirit of the former Speaker of the House, demonstrating leadership, humility, and compassion for those communities they served. After a public call for nominations and an exhaustive selection process, the recipients that best represented Clay's commitment to public service were chosen. Before detailing the list of winners, I would like the former Speaker's son and my good friend, Clayton Mitchell Sr., to share a bit about his father and the legacy that he's left.
Public service is not the most glamorous or profitable line of work, but it is one of the most important. I'm Clay Mitchell, oldest son of former Speaker of the House, R. Clayton Mitchell Jr. My father was born in 1936 to Mildred and Roy Mitchell. He married my beloved mother, Tia Whitsitt, in 1958. My father began his career as a farmer after serving in the United States Army. In 1960, he was elected to the Kent County Democratic Central Committee. In 1966, he was elected president of the Kent County Commissioners, and finally in 1970 to the Maryland House of Delegates. He became Speaker of the House in 1986, a position he held until 1993. He died on June 13, 2019, 18 months after my mother. My father knew that public service translates our government, laws, and social values into the daily work that keeps democracy going. Elected officials are the face of our government. Many people today, unfortunately, believe that the private sector eclipses the value of public service. The best answer to that kind of criticism, it seems to me, is precisely the men and women we are honoring. And it's significant that the distinguished public servants being honored today are recognized by Comptroller Peter Franchot, a longtime friend and former colleague of my father's, and a person who is taking the time to recognize their lifetime contributions and accomplishments. It is an honor and a privilege that my father is named for this prestigious award. Congratulations to all those venerated officials who are held in the highest regard by the citizens of Maryland.
Thank you, Clay, for sharing those memories, and what an honor it is to present these 24 distinguished public servants with the award named after your late father. The Allegany recipient of the R. Clayton Mitchell Jr. Award for Distinguished Public Service, Casper R. Taylor. Much like the award's namesake, Cass Taylor was both delegate and Speaker of the House in a public service career that spanned nearly 3 decades. And in that time, he fought hard for your constituents, so much that they named a building after you. Congratulations, Cass, on this most deserved honor, my friend. I'm pleased to announce that Mary Ann Love was chosen as the Arundel County recipient of the Mitchell Award. Mary Ann spent decades fighting for better opportunities for veterans, seniors, women, and all of the members of her district as delegate. Congratulations, Mary Ann. Next, it's my honor to recognize Kurt Schmoke as the recipient of the Baltimore City Mitchell Award. Baltimore's native son was not only on President Carter's domestic policy staff, but an assistant United States attorney and the first African-American mayor of Charm City, serving 3 terms for the wonderful city of Baltimore. A very well-deserved award, Mayor Schmoke. You've left an indelible legacy yourself. The Baltimore County recipient of the Mitchell Award began her career as a nurse, helping patients through some of the most difficult times of their lives before turning her attention to elected office. Those lessons learned as a medical practitioner served her well and shaped her approach to governing first as a delegate and then state senator representing Baltimore County. Congratulations, Paula Hollinger, a true servant of the people. With great distinction that Hagner Mr. was chosen as the Calvert County recipient of the R. Clayton Mitchell Jr. Award for Distinguished Public Service. Hagner began his life of public service with the Board of Education, before serving on the Calvert County Board of Commissioners. As a farmer set on the best interest of Calvert County and the state, he was a perfect fit to take the reins as the Secretary of Agriculture. What a distinguished and industrious career. Thank you, Hagner, very much. Larry C. Porter is a man that never shied away from a fight, whether to improve health care access for the residents of Caroline County or as a member of Denton Volunteer Fire Company. Larry served on the Denton Town Council before becoming mayor, after which he was elected as a county commissioner and finally president of the board. Congratulations on being chosen to receive the Mitchell Award for Caroline County. The next recipient, Julia Walsh Gouge, has a public service career spanning more than 30 years in Carroll County. She began her civil service as a devoted and determined member of the Hempstead Town Council before becoming mayor, where she always made certain the voices of those in rural areas were not drowned out but heard loud and clear. Julia moved on to serve as county commissioner and finally took the helm as president, deftly working for the betterment of Carroll County every step of the way. Congratulations, Julia, on your most prodigious career. It's with great pleasure that I present Ronald A. Guns with the Cecil County Mitchell Award. Before serving as a state delegate for nearly 2 decades, Ron served our nation meritoriously as a member of the United States Army during the Vietnam War. We were fortunate to have Ron's expertise guiding us at the Department of Natural Resources after his tenure as delegate. Ron's dedication to our country and commitment to civil service continues to inspire us all. Congratulations. Bill Eckman has devoted 5 decades to public service in Charles County with an astounding legacy of true leadership and humility, and one we should all take note of. Bill deftly guided La Plata as councilman and then mayor through some of the town's most significant historical events, from their greatest expansions through their deadly natural disasters. Congratulations, Bill. Next, I'm pleased to introduce the Dorchester recipient and my dear friend, Addie Eckardt, who has built her life around public service. First as a delegate and now as state senator, she has risen as a champion for the health and well-being of her constituents, using her career as a clinical psychiatric nurse to aid her tireless efforts to transform public health policy and access. I could not be more proud to present Addie with this award. The Frederick County R. Clayton Mitchell Jr. Award recipient belongs to Galen Clagett. Galen's life has defined the term civil servant from his years as a Maryland public school teacher and his tenure as a county commissioner and then president, after which he chose to run for higher office and was elected as a delegate to the General Assembly of Maryland for 6 terms, where you were a champion for economic opportunity. Congratulations, Galen. Plucky, diligent, and dedicated Peggy Jamison has forged her own path as a public servant for nearly 30 years and is the Garrett County recipient of the Mitchell Award. As a member of the Oakland Town Council and then in her tenure as mayor, Peggy transformed municipal government into an effective agent for the citizens while supporting small businesses that built Oakland's Main Street into a tourist destination. Your work has been truly exceptional, Peggy. The Harford County recipient, Eileen Rehrmann, began her decades-long civil career as a member of the Bel Air Town Commission. She knew she had a higher calling and moved on to become a state delegate before being elected to 2 terms as Harford County Executive, where she excelled, acting with both humility and compassion. I'm honored to present the R. Clayton Mitchell Award for Howard County to a true warrior, C. Vernon Gray. Vernon broke barriers in Howard County when he was chosen as the first African-American county council member in history, where he forged a legacy of service as a 5-term member. His contribution to generations of Howard County residents cannot be underestimated, as evidenced by his fight to ban public smoking and advocating for other critical issues like affordable housing. Congratulations, Vernon, on your incredible career. Wayne Gilchrest, the Kent County recipient of the R. Clayton Mitchell Jr. Award, is a man after my own heart. He's spent his career in public service as a fiscal watchdog, demanding accountability and responsible spending of every penny of taxpayer money. Wayne served admirably 9 terms in the United States Congress before joining the Betterton Town Council. His champion of environmental protections, particularly for the Chesapeake Bay, have led to the lasting legacy of a cleaner, healthier bay that we will benefit from for decades to come. The Montgomery County Mitchell Award winner, Ida Ruben, has been a true pioneer for women in Maryland since she was first elected as a delegate in 1975. Ida was then chosen by the people to serve as state senator in 1987, continuing her legacy as majority whip and president pro tem before retiring in 2007. Congratulations. Prince George's County has been extremely blessed to have Gloria Lala represent them as a delegate and then senator before serving as Secretary of Aging. Gloria and I served together in the General Assembly, and I can say unequivocally that she's a fighter who doesn't know the meaning of the word quit. She's championed underserved communities by pressing for access to job training and supported common sense community development. Gloria's fought tirelessly for home care access for seniors, never stopping her lifelong commitment to public service. And Gloria, I thank you. The Queen Anne's County recipient of the Mitchell Award is a hero and a champion, and also a phenomenal public servant. Wheeler Baker not only served our country in the Air Force, he served on the Queen Anne's County Board of Commissioners before being elected as state delegate in 1995, where he served for 9 terms. He continues to serve those that need him most. As president of the Chester Y Foundation, he has helped disabled adults live full, independent lives. Congratulations, Wheeler. Judge Daniel Long has spent a lifetime in service to the people of Somerset County. Danny, as a state delegate, you were considered one of the 10 most effective, and since that time, you've crafted a legacy of compassion and fairness that spans 26 years on the bench, including your tenure as the first Judicial Circuit Court Administrative Judge. Now you continue that service as a member of the Justice Reinvestment Oversight Board. Congratulations, Danny. Born and raised in St. Mary's County, John Wood Jr. has always put the needs of others ahead of his own. As a member of the National Guard and Mechanicsville Fire Department, Johnny served on several local boards before being elected as a state delegate, a role he maintained for nearly 30 years. Johnny, you inspire us all as you continue helping those in need. You're an exceptional public servant, and I'm proud to call you friend. Congratulations. Judge William Horn also had an exemplary career on the bench, and one that has earned him the distinction of being chosen the Talbot County recipient of the R. Clayton Mitchell Jr. Award. Before his tenure as a Second Judicial Circuit Administrative Judge, he was a Talbot County State's Attorney. Before his election as a state delegate for 8 terms, Bill's exceptional grasp of justice and humanity and how they merge served him well. Congratulations, Bill. Washington County is home to the amazing town of Boonesboro. It's also the home to Skip Kaufman, my next R. Clayton Mitchell Jr. Award recipient. Skip defined what it means to be a humble public servant, first as town councilman and then mayor of Boonesboro, a career spanning 28 years. None questioned his commitment to the residents of Boonesboro, whether through his eco-friendly policies, economic development opportunities, or his Seniors First policy. Congratulations, Skip. When I think of the Eastern Shore, I often think of former Salisbury councilman and state delegate Norm Conway. Norm is a native son who began his career as a teacher and firefighter before taking up the mantle of elected office, a role he excelled in for nearly 30 years. Norm and I both began our tenure as delegates in 1987, even serving on a few subcommittees together over the years. And I learned quickly how hard he was willing to fight for his constituents. Norm, I'm beyond proud to present you with the R. Clayton Mitchell Jr. Award for Wicomico County. The last award recipient has served Worcester County and the town of Berlin as the town councilman and then mayor for nearly 20 years, transforming the sleepy village into one of the coolest towns in America with all of his forward-thinking economic development and smart growth policies. G. Williams worked unfailingly for the people of Berlin, during his tenure. Congratulations, G, on this honor, and thank you to all of the R. Clayton Mitchell Award winners that have chosen a life of public service. We are forever grateful for your leadership, humility, and compassion, representing the more than 6 million people that call the Free State home.